Little Nightmares 3 dropped in October. You've already beaten it. You've crushed Monster Baby, outsmarted the Supervisor, and watched that ending that made you question everything. And now you're just sitting there thinking, that's it? Well, good news and bad news. Good news, there's more content coming. Bad news, you're gonna have to wait until 2026 to get it. Today, we're breaking down everything that we know about Secrets of the Spiral, the DLC that's gonna drag Low and Alone back into the nightmare whether they like it or not. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. Little Nightmares 3 dropped on October 10th, 2025. 4 full chapters, Low and Alone running through the Necropolis, Candy Factory, Carnival, and the Institute. You fought Monster Baby, you crushed the Supervisor in a hydraulic press, you escaped Minikin on a hot air balloon. And you watched that absolutely devastating ending where Alone just disappears, leaving Low alone. Get it? Alone? I hate this series for that pun. Anyway, the game was great. I mean, sure, mixed reviews from critics, but the fan base loved it. And now everyone is asking the same question. Is that really the end? No, because Bandai Namco announced DLC before the game even launched. So welcome to Secrets of the Spiral. Now, it's divided into 2 chapters that are going to release at separate times throughout 2026. Chapter 1 drops somewhere between April and June of 2026. Chapter 2 arrives between October and December 2026. So yeah, you're probably going to be waiting a while. But here's what you're actually getting. 2 brand new chapters set in the Spiral. The Ferryman costume set, which is exclusive to the expansion pass, and according to Bandai Namco, these chapters are not essential to the main story. But they also promise they'll enrich the experience and let you uncover hidden secrets, new perspectives, and unexpected horrors. Translation, you don't need to play this DLC to understand the main game. But if you skip it, you're probably gonna miss some major lore. But let's go ahead and talk money. If you already own Little Nightmares 3, you can just grab the Secrets of the Spiral expansion pass for $14.99. That's gonna get you both chapters when they release, plus the Ferryman costumes. But if you haven't bought the game yet, well, there's a deluxe edition for $59.99, and that includes the base game, both DLC chapters, the Ferryman costumes, and 4 sets of cosmetic outfits themed after key enemies from the game. Honestly, not a bad deal if you're planning to play everything anyway. $15 for 2 chapters is pretty standard for DLC pricing. You know, assuming that each chapter is around 1.5 to 2 hours long. I mean, you're looking at 3 to 4 hours of additional content. For comparison, the main game takes about 5 to 6 hours to complete. So you're getting roughly half of a game's worth of content for a quarter of the price. The math there checks out. But here is the million-dollar question that everyone has been asking since the DLC was announced. Who are you playing as? Now, Bandai Namco hasn't officially confirmed who the protagonists are in Secrets of the Spiral. But come on, we all know it's gonna be Low and Alone again. And how do we know? Well, the Ferryman costume set that comes with the DLC is described as available in a set of 2, suited for both characters, Low and Alone. And why would they give you costumes for Low and Alone if you're not playing as Low and Alone? Well, that honestly would be kind of the weirdest marketing decision ever. Here's costumes for characters that you won't use. Enjoy!
No, you kidding me?
No, you're definitely playing as Low and Alone. But the real question is, does this take place before or after the main game's ending? Because if you've beaten the game, then you know Alone kinda, well, vanishes. She dissolved into nothing, leaving just her clothes and that drawing. So either this DLC is a prequel, or somehow Alone finds a way to bring her back. Or we're just getting some time loop nonsense, because, well, the series does love some time loop nonsense. Which brings us to the big mystery that's keeping everyone up at night. What is the story about? Well, that's a good question. Nobody knows. Bandai Namco is being incredibly tight-lipped about the plot. There's no dedicated trailer yet, no gameplay footage, just vague promises about hidden secrets, new perspectives, and unexpected horrors. Thanks, Bandai! Super helpful. But we can go ahead and make some educated guesses based on the title and the main game's story. The DLC is called Secrets of the Spiral. The Spiral is the cluster of lands that Low and Alone travel through in the main game. It's made up of the Necropolis, Candy Factory, Carnival, and Institute. Each location is connected by mirrors that Low can travel through, so maybe the DLC takes us to new areas of the Spiral that we didn't see in the main game. or maybe it shows us familiar locations from a different perspective. The official description says the chapters offer new perspective. That could mean we're revisiting places that we've already been, but just seeing them differently, time loop style. The Little Nightmares series has had a history with time loops and cyclical storytelling, so it really wouldn't be too big of a surprise if Lo and Alone just end up in the same locations but at different points in time, revealing secrets that we may have missed the first time around. But here's where my brain starts spinning theories. The Carnival section is the biggest chapter in the main game. It's got 10 collectible dolls compared to just 5 in every other chapter. It's also the most mysterious location. The herd characters at the Carnival look suspiciously similar to the guests from the first Little Nightmares game. Then there's the whole thing with the TV possibly corrupting the kin the same way that it corrupted residents in the Pale City from Little Nightmares 2. Basically, the Carnival is dripping with unanswered questions. It feels like the perfect place for DLC to explore. Maybe we get to see what the Carnival was like before it became a floating nightmare circus. Maybe we learn more about the kin and why they captured children. Maybe we find out what happened to all those kids who were forced to perform circus acts. I don't know, but I'm already worried. Let's go ahead and talk about the bonus content though. The Ferryman costume set is exclusive to the expansion pass. It's described as a mysterious figure familiar to all children in the Nowhere. And if you're a Little Nightmares lore nerd, you probably know about the Ferryman. He's appeared in the Little Nightmares comics and the Sounds of Nightmares podcast. Basically, he's the guy who transports kids across the Nowhere. And now, Lo and Alone can actually dress up as him, which is either cute or deeply unsettling depending on how you look at it. These kids are cosplaying as the entity that ferries children through a nightmare realm. Very normal, very healthy. The costumes though come in a set of 2, one for Lo and one for Alone, so you and your co-op buddy can match. It's pretty adorable. Now apart from our theories and the exciting cosmetics we're getting, let's get back to reality. Secrets of the Spiral isn't coming out anytime soon. Chapter 1 is dropping somewhere between April and June of 2026. I mean, that's a minimum 5 months away. Then Chapter 2 comes out even later, between October and December of 2026, an entire year from right now. That means you're going to be waiting over a year for the complete DLC experience. Which, I mean, honestly, it kind of sucks. But that's just how modern gaming works now. Announce DLC before the game launches, make people pre-order it, then drip feed the content over the course of a year. I mean, at least they're being transparent about the release windows. Some companies just say, coming soon, and then vanish for 3 years. Looking at you, literally every game company ever. Alright, but that's everything we know about Secrets of the Spiral so far. Quick question before you go. Do you think Alone is actually gone for good? Or is Lo gonna find a way to bring her back? Drop your theories down in the comments below, because honestly, I need to know if I'm the only one losing sleep over this. But if you've enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss when we eventually get actual gameplay footage for the DLC. And if you haven't played Little Nightmares 3 yet, what are you waiting for? Go experience that trauma firsthand.